Hi again then guys, so we've got another drag spec tune for you today, and this time it's for the Infiniti FX45 Concept, which is of course Infiniti's SUV. So you want your racing soft tyres as usual. For suspension we've raised the ride height to 150 front and rear. Springs we've lowered to 375 and 350 to absorb that power in your launch. Likewise with compression, you want the car to take up all that power without being too stiff. Extension we've got on 4, anti-roll on 7 to keep the car nice and straight under acceleration. Camber and toe neutral to get as much tyre contact to the road as possible. For the gearbox, obviously this isn't really a top end tune, it's more for the quarter mile, half mile, 1 mile drag, that kind of thing. So we've got an auto setting of 230. Then for the individual gears we've rounded them off to 47.95, 29.85, 20.65, 15.15 and 11.85 with a final drive of 2.4. For the diff, same as usual, the highest initial torque for that explosive launch, high acceleration and low braking. We've got a 40-60 torque split on this one. All the power upgrades obviously, and as usual I will be using NOS on this run. And obviously you want weight loss. Traction control is also turned off as always, and as always I will be using an automatic gearbox. So as usual, I'm putting it up against a car with significantly more power to show how it copes in the real world. I'm putting it up against the newer shape Mustang, which is putting out just over 800 horsepower. Weighs around the same, but with over 150 horsepower more. Obviously this car is all-wheel drive, which gives it an advantage off the line, but still 150 horsepower more should give the Mustang the advantage for mid-range and top-end acceleration. So, let's see how they compare. So obviously, as we said off the line, this car does have all-wheel drive, which does give it an advantage. But mid-range and top-end, that extra 150 horsepower that the Mustang has should allow it to catch up relatively easily. But as you can see, it takes the Mustang quite a while to catch up with this truck. This is over the 2,000 metre mark and it still hasn't caught up. So, by around the 2,400 metre mark the Mustang passes, which, considering how much less power this vehicle has, similar weight and inferior aerodynamics, it's pretty impressive for an SUV. It is one of the lesser powered SUVs, still seriously quick, mainly thanks to how light it is. It is significantly lighter than many of the other SUVs, and it's also significantly lighter whilst still being all-wheel drive, which is good because most of the lighter SUVs and trucks are light because, in part, they're rear-wheel drive, which obviously doesn't give you as good a launch. Now, as usual, there are far too many specs to read out for this car in terms of acceleration times, so as always I'll put those in the description if you want to look at those in depth. But for the highlights, this truck, or SUV, will hit 60 miles per hour in 1.3 seconds, which is seriously quick for its power. It will do the standing mile in 21.4, which is very respectable for a 650 horsepower car, regardless of whether it's an SUV or not. And it will cover a standing 3-mile drag, which is 4,800 metres in 53 or just under 53 seconds. So for one of the lesser powered SUVs, and just for a drag car in general, although it's not a top end tune, it is still a seriously quick SUV. And incidentally, it also makes a brilliant track car because of how light it is. So if you haven't tried this car, I would definitely strongly recommend that you give it a go, because it is a brilliant car. And for those of you who do use this tune, I hope you find it helpful. I hope you enjoy using the car. It certainly punches way higher than its weight. And if you did find this helpful, feel free to subscribe. I put out new drag tunes every weekend, new top speed tunes every day. And as always, thanks for watching.